All right, so we're in week 19. What's up, my boy? Week 19, let's recap and review. So we'll start off with the fitness. And now, check it. So, I haven't done no spins. Cool, right, whatever. I ain't do no rucks. Cool, right, whatever. But I did go to the gym twice. And I know it's about to be a lot more consistency this week. Learn something about myself this week. So today's actually Wednesday because I know I did week, 18 on Monday, so 2 days ago. And I had to make sure I didn't double dip and say some stuff from 19 and 18. So I don't got to worry about saying whatever now because I'm up to date and current and it's the actual day of. So like I said, I didn't do no rucks. I didn't spend any. But what I did do was I went to the gym twice, right? Boom, boom, back to back, knocked them out, staying on it. So I know I went to the YMCA on Saturday. I went Saturday morning. And I know that because I had a little outing that I went to or whatever later in that evening. So went to the YMCA on Saturday, got a good workout in, recovery, all that, boom, smooth, right? All right. So then, today is Wednesday. I went yesterday after work. I stayed after for about an hour after work and got a pretty good session in there. So, of course, consistency is key with anything. So, working on being consistent more so than like trying to go crazy hard. No. Just keep getting these 2 days. But, of course, we got to incorporate getting the rucks and all that in. So, matter of fact, that counts as a ruck because I did something harder than a ruck. I actually did the Stairmaster on Saturday at the gym. I did the Stairmaster with my weight vest on. Ha! Boy, about to check up out of there. But even with that and with yesterday, with both of those days or whatever, like neither day following did I feel too burnt out. With today, it wasn't a work from the office day, and I got my hair braided. So that took up a majority of the day, which is why I didn't go to the gym or whatever today. But like tomorrow, it's Thursday. I think on my lunch break, if I don't go pass out some more carbs, then I definitely probably work out on my lunch break. Or if I get in early enough to get off at 4, then I'll work out for an hour once I get off. So, cool. Definitely, because the next day or two is payday. So, we'll have everything squared away and be like in really good standing after this check. So, I don't... depending on how things play out, somewhere in between now and sometime soon, I'm going to get some freaking weights. Because like I say, the same thing with this spinning. There's no excuse. I can do it at home. So, we're working on it. I'm going to get me some weights or some kind of stuff to work out with at home, add to my home gym in the next week or two. We're going to really work on getting that together. But what triggered me, starting to work out more and wanting to do better. So I got offended, right? So I went last week on my lunch break to pass out my cards, in a good side of town or whatever. So let me go over here. And I like that. It was cool because it was like, some places took them. Some of them said, no, we don't take cards or whatever. Again, before I even went into it, because, I'm a couple months into this little thing now, this little entrepreneurship or whatever, and, all the way official with it. But I've already prepped myself and got so ready, like I said, with the guy I was watching doing all the bookkeeping and watching his videos, it helped, like, hey, you're going to get adversity, you're going to get no's. And like I said, I've been getting that anyway, which, 1 minute, me and a person negotiating a job or done negotiated, or like I said, it done got over to the point where I'm driving to the person and they say never mind. None of that is discouraging me from doing my thing. So cool, still passing out cards. Mother's Day just passed, gave something out to friends and family. Okay, I realize I'm getting off track, so let me get back to it. Boom. So I'm passing out cards, grab my lunch or whatever, and I go into like this one place and it's like very health conscious. You can see they got like protein stuff in here. So I'm like, oh, okay, me and the lady rapping. And she speaks about an INBODY scan and says, if you come back and do a consultation, you can get it for free. I've seen INBODY scans. I know what they are, but I've never got one. And, I'm into my health and stuff. So I'm like, Shoot, let me check that out. Cool. So we set it up. This was on Tuesday. It was on Tuesday when I was in the office, and we set it up for Thursday. So excuse me. Thursday last week come. I go over there, we do the INBODY scan. And again, I can kind of see, put two and two together and see what they do here. But it don't matter. So like I said, we do the INBODY. I'm right around where, I figured I would be. I done put on some weight from, how much I had lost at my best of last year. Still putting on. I don't know what's going on there. I think the protein is definitely factoring in. I haven't been eating horrible as far as snacks. Last couple weeks, no, I have. I wasn't eating the best, and I had got back in the. I know one day I ate that dang on the insomnia salted caramel cookie like 3 days in a row. So, cool, we're getting it back together. So I go in here, we do the INBODY scan, get all the results back. Like I say, numbers right around where I thought. Cool, I know that I've been BSing, and I know I can get it back on track. Now again, I forgot the name, like the scientific names. Pretty much, they sell OZEMPIC in this place. And so even after we go through and do the INBODY scan, the lady is still like, yeah, so we can get you going. She's doing her job trying to make a sale. If I came back and probably had something healthy, like 15 to 10% body fat, she probably still would have tried to make a sale, or at least got me to get something else, because this is her freaking job. I don't care, and I ain't trying to hear none of that. Boy, I'm pissed off. I'm like, you think I'm that bad? Why I need OZEMPIC? So, like I say, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, nah, I'm getting back on my grind. So if I'm being honest, that, countered anything else that would have played in my mind. Like, man, yeah, I could go to the gym, but hell no, get up, we're going to the gym. OZEMPIC? She think I need OZEMPIC? So, like I said, that triggered me to go Saturday. Why didn't I? Monday. Oh yeah, Monday I was kind of out of it. I was kind of in the clouds on Monday from the night before. But yeah, so that, really got me going. This past week, I think from like Thursday or Friday, I think it might have been Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, one of them nights, like I said, because my energy has been improving like this last week. I know I had been speaking about that before, where a lot of nights, 8:30, 9 o'clock, it's over, I'm asleep. It's been more nights where I get home and I have energy. So, little by little, I'm working on cleaning up. How I've been saying I wanted to, like deep cleaning. If I ain't deep cleaning, then, I'm cooking. So one night got there, did a little bit of deep cleaning, watched a movie with my youngest, and I fell asleep watching the movie, get back up, and it's like maybe, I think it was like 12 o'clock or something like that. And I could tell I was going to be up for a minute. So I was like, y'all can sit here and just watch TV. Or I can go, I had seen where it said a lot of people had used cabbage soup to, drop some pounds. And I had bought all the ingredients, just kept putting it off. So I was like, nope, we up, let's go ahead and do it. So I did a purple and the green, the regular cabbage or whatever, made the soup. Soup was fine. I could see myself eating it and incorporating it into my regular diet, even if I am eating regular food. Like, if I do this soup and a salad, I got, I got more than enough vegetables in for the day. So if I get the soup, the salad, and some water, then I'm gonna have all the, my vitamins, the healthy stuff or whatever that you get from vegetables, and I ain't never got no problem eating fruit, and they provide fruit at work. So soup and salad, let's say, for lunch or lunch and dinner or whatever, or it's for one or the other. I'd probably say just do it for lunch. That way I know for sure I got it out of the way. And when dinner comes, if I wanted to eat something bad, cool, still pair a protein shake and drink some water before I eat dinner. And that'll help, curb overindulging or eating too much of something bad. So like I said, I did that for a week. As the week went by, I don't know. Some people said that they lost a bunch of weight, like I say, in 3 to 7 days. I didn't lose any weight. From what I saw at the start, I didn't lose any weight, but I was way more regular, which was surprising because I wasn't, like, especially the first 4 days. The first 4 days, that was it. It was just that fruits, vegetables, nothing else, no snacks, no nothing. Now the last 2 days here, I done, incorporated more snacks and regular food into it or whatever. But even at like day 3, so I don't know. I said probably this weekend, like starting from Sunday, because that was the thing with the lady. We set for a 30-day like visit for me to come back after 30 days, and then we'll see if I need it. And I'm like, heck nah, I'll be done lost. I'm committed to losing. I don't trip off the numbers like that. But I'm losing 10 pounds before I go back there. If I done lost 10, we good. So really on the grind. But I can't say that because I didn't, do any spinning, cycling, or none of that. Or like I did a ruck or whatever. But nah, this week I'm committed to this being the first week and these next 3 weeks and moving on forward. Doing the fitness things that I committed to at the start of the year that I haven't yet. Let's get them going because I know doing those. And like I said, I'm incorporating that soup, eating salads, fruits, vegetables. I'm going to be bringing in way less calories than I'm burning. So that really, like I say, me being offended got me like really on the ball. Like, hell nah, she got me messed up. So if I can get that in other areas of life and it had that same impact, boy, we'll be making something move and shake. So that was that. Like I said, we did the fitness, we did the dieting and everything. What else was going on this past week? Work is going really fine, man. Like honestly, everything that they gave me, I finished. Like the last day and a half today, I literally had no work that I could do. The last process that they showed me, I finished everything and mailed everything out on, was it Monday or Tuesday? I think I mailed it all out on Monday. And then Tuesday I was supposed to get going again. So I got started. I got one part of the process done. And we got another lady, like they do this, like I think they just say literally once a year. So they always forget, even though they have instructions, they aren't clear or correct. So when I get back tomorrow, if the other lady's there and she could show me how to do it, boom, I knock that out. Otherwise, I think my manager will be there tomorrow. Because as soon as I finish with everything, I let her know, like, hey, I'm done with everything y'all have assigned. I don't have any work. I'm not trying to seem like somebody that's sitting on the clock or don't whatever. But I also don't feel like I should have to message you every day. I feel like that would be annoying, you know what I'm saying? To be like, hey, okay, Monday I messaged you and told you I was done with everything. Tuesday, hey, I'm done with everything. Wednesday, hey, I'm done. No, I ain't finna do that. I told you I'm done. So if you come back, or if, whoever, whatever comes back and says, you kind of been sitting on the clock, I messaged this lady. I told her then. She never got back to me. So we'll see. But like I say, work is going fine. Can't really complain there. Oh yeah. So one of my homie Cleddy hit me up before the weekend came, and he told me about this event that was having like a soul food cookout type thing or whatever. It was like food trucks and they was doing music and stuff like that. So went to it. It was cool, hanging out, getting out the house and being around. Just seeing a bunch of us colored folks congregating, just having a good time. I didn't see no violence, none of the time I was there. Everybody was just really chilling, hanging out, having a good time. My only gripe, I'm a Southern gentleman, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the South or whatever. And the guy that was hosting it was from the DMV, DC area or whatever. Let that be known. Ain't nothing wrong with, letting it be known and representing your home team. But at the same time, you have to play to the crowd that you're in. Like, okay, I'm from here. But if I had if I was a host like that, cool, okay, and I'm in Georgia, let's say. Let's find what Georgia, we could play the big national stuff. We could play the, cookout classics. But let's make sure we get Georgia in here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in North Carolina, so like, no, you're not finna just play J. Cole, the Baby, whatever. But still, we the South. Play Southern music. This dude trying to play a whole bunch of house, DC go-go type music. You're not in your area. Like, that was not enough. He didn't cater to the audience as far as the music goes or whatever. And then like, even with that, the little, like, where them fans at? He teased at it got all these women out here ready to dance with that, with their fans, then went and played like another song and a half, and then came back to it. After he done played the song and a half for the other stuff, they didn't want to set their asses down. So you see, like, this big crowd rush to the floor because they hear him, you know, teasing it. Then he go to another song, you see him leaving. Go to another song, play half of the other song, see him leave. I ain't gonna say he played the whole song, either one of the whole songs. I say he played half of them. So essentially he played a whole song, but now they back at their seats. And then he goes back and starts from scratch, playing the Where Them Fans At song, and you don't get as big of a crowd, like they don't all race back. It's like, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense how you going about this. So that was only let down, but it was still cool, like I said, getting out there or whatever, since I don't, you know, get out and mingle a whole bunch or whatever. So that was definitely a good time or whatever. And then, of course, Mother's Day was Sunday, this past Sunday. What, I guess it would have been 2, 3, 4, 5. So it was my fourth one without my mom. And of course, like, that wasn't me and her thing anyway. Like, I always said I would call her, you know, or if I was in the area living in the city and I was, you know, around, definitely stop by or whatever. And, hey, happy Mother's Day. Maybe get a card or something like that. But she would say it and let me know, like, I know you're not in the holidays and this not me and your thing. You celebrate me as your mom the other 364 days of the year. So I'm not tripping, you know what I'm saying? Don't feel obligated or like you have to do anything for me on this one particular day, because first of all, somebody else made this, you know, made this the day for moms. I didn't, you didn't. So we ain't got to act like, you know, it's whatever. So, you know, but still had a little gathering. My pops with my stepmom, they had a gathering, so I went over there, kicked it for a minute, and it was cool. But, you know, like I say, as you hear people, you know, giving shout outs and kudos and thank you to my moms, and even, you know, being at the show I was at, they was like, you know, hug your mom, and it was like, shit, I wish I could. You don't understand how much I wish I could, man. So, it was cool or whatever. But if you got your mom, don't take her for granted, because if you got a good one, I'll say that, because, hey, everybody ain't got a good mama. But mine was my partner, and I miss that old lady. But, so that was that. That's work. That's working out. Business. Yeah, I almost forgot about the business. So, I think I spoke on, because like I said, I just did the video for 18 on Monday. So, I had, like, that same day, and I had just been saying this too. It's funny how it worked out, because I didn't have any weekend jobs last weekend. I was like, man, you know, kind of getting used to it. And it just, all that extra money always helps. So I was like, man, I ain't getting nothing over this weekend. You know, that kind of suck or whatever. Hopefully, you know, we get something during the week. Cool. So, I got time. So, I say that, you know, hopefully I can get something during the week. So Monday come, and Monday is when my budget starts over, and like they start sending me jobs. So I knew something would come, you know what I mean? Because the money was back. So Monday come, boom. Get a job early in the morning, young girl, or younger, almost 30. So she just had her first baby a couple months back and just got him a baby crib. And so she like, hey, can anybody put this together? You know me, I'm like, man, I did the math in my head. That ain't nothing, you know, that should take no crazy long time. I think I can do that this evening if she want. So I was like, how soon do you want it done? She was like, how soon can you do it? I was like, I'll come tonight. So came, boom, knocked it out. Took like an hour and 10 minutes. She was satisfied. And I had just got my cards, and my LLC had just came through. So I'm, you know, feeling myself. So she was the first lady. I gave her one of my cards. Boom, here you go. Cool. So that go by. Wednesday comes, right? She hit me up again like, hey, I got a high chair and a bookcase. Can you put them in? I'm like, Wednesday I work from home. So I'm like, when you talking? She was like, what, you know, if you could do it today, that'd be great. So I'm like, all right, let me see. I'm like, the high chair, I don't think that'll take too long. I'm getting better with these bookcases. I know they'll still take like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer. So I'm like, all right, smooth. I can come at either 1:30, around 1 o'clock, 1:30 on my lunch break, or I can come about 4:30, because I'm like, my youngest will be home. I can grab him. We'll just go ahead and be out and be, you know, halfway there for his karate. Cool. So she like 1:30. I'm like, cool. Get over there. It take me all in like I said, about what I said, about a little over 2 hours or whatever. Like I said, about 30, 40 minutes for the what you call it, maybe an hour and a half or so for the bookcase. So get it all together, assembled. Dang, boy, that was perfect. So that's Wednesday. The same day where she reached out on Wednesday, another lady I had took the trampoline apart for, she reached out. She was like, hey, I got the trampoline. If you can get it done, when do you think you can do it? And again, I'm about this money and I need all mine. So I'm like, it's Wednesday. So I'm like, I can come Thursday after work. But I looked it up and I knew it was supposed to rain on Thursday. So I was like, if I can't do it all on Thursday, I come back Friday if that worked for you. And she like, yeah, that's cool. So come over on Thursday, boom, 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 boom. Putting it together. I grabbed one of my brothers. He come with me. We working on it. And I'm like, I knew we weren't gonna be able to finish it because it was supposed to like rain. Like it's been raining the last week. Almost every day you're gonna get a nice little storm to come down. So I'm like, all right, we get over there. Now I looked it up because the lady showed me, she was like, yeah, it had like the assembly video. I looked it up, the same company that sells the trampoline, they have an assembly video. So I looked the video up or whatever. It was like 5 minutes long. I'm like, all right, smooth. Check the video out. And I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely can knock this out, right? So I looked at the video the day before I came to do it. Should have looked at it on the way because I forgot everything. Everything that they gave clear instructions on, I did the wrong way. From start to finish, right? A to Z. So, me and my brother, we get started on it. We knocking it out. And then we get to the point where like, first we had the bottom base on and then the top base where like you attach the screen to jump on. Cool, we get to that part and we get all the way to where you're supposed to attach the springs and realize that the rails that should be on the top are on the bottom and vice versa. So we done been working for like an hour and a half before the rain get there. We got to take all that apart. So we take it apart, boom, click it back together. So I said it was out there, yeah, it was like 2.5 hours. So we had worked like an hour and a half, boom. So it took us like another 15, 20 minutes getting everything detached. And then from that 30 or however many minutes it would be getting everything, reattached, boom, boom, boom. We grinding, getting it all together and got just as far, if not further, than we did with the first hour and a half because now we know what we're doing. So, like I said, getting everything assembled, putting the springs on. We're struggling with these springs because the way I'm doing it, we'll attach the springs to the, we'll attach the springs to the rail and then pull on the mat part that you jump on. The mat part has all the tension, so trying to pull the mat is extremely hard. Again, if I watch the video, so cool. All right, so we finish up. The rain start coming down. I tell the lady we'll be back tomorrow. So it's Thursday. I'm like, we'll be back tomorrow to get it finished. She's like, yeah, no problem. Cool. So go to work. Did I work at office on Friday? No, I work from home. So I was like, cool. I work from home. As soon as he get here, I ain't got to fight out the traffic. We can just head straight over there. So he get home. I'm like, let's slide. Boom. We hop on the road. We head over that way. We get started. And I watched the video while I was working from home. So I'm like, because I had told him, I was like, we might have to bring out my other brother with us to help us with those springs because like I said, I was pulling on the mat part. And I'm like, now I know what I'm doing. I'm like, I messed us up. We needed some extra time, but I'm like, we need that much. I'm like, I messed us up. We're going to get this done in no time. He was like, you sure? I'm like, I'm positive. I watched the video. I should have watched it yesterday, but it's cool. Don't worry, we straight. So I get there, we get there, and you could tell he looking like, man, I don't know about these springs. Them things was whooping us last night, and we got like 30 more to attach. So then I showed him the right way to do it. He was like, oh, okay, boom. So we knocked the springs out in no time. Boom, get that done. Get to the next part. We cooking now. Like, this ain't taking no time to get done, right? So we get all this stuff attached, got everything going the right way. And we get to this freaking, to where you attach the top rails to the neck. So we're putting all the top rails in, like literally at the last like 15 minutes of work. And I can't get this one to go in. I'm like, are you serious? It'll go in the hole, but it won't latch. Like it's supposed to double latch in place into the frame and into the rails on the bottom. It won't latch in neither. So I'm like, again, I can't leave this like this because like this is my brand, you know what I mean? And this is a nice neighborhood. It don't matter even if it was a bad neighborhood. It's my brand. I don't care where I'm working at. I don't want you to be able to say, oh, he did that wrong, or my kids came like it. It wouldn't have made the trampoline fall because it wasn't on the base on the bottom, but the net would have failed. And it's just like, no, that's not a good look, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not gonna last forever, but the way that thing was like not latched in there, them kids wouldn't have jumped for 10 good minutes before that net would have came down. That's a bad look. So I'm like, we got to work this out. So I'm talking, we fighting with this thing for like 15, 20 minutes. Then I thought about it, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, let me detach it from the bottom, put the rail in, you know, from the bottom way, and then reattach it at the top. It's not gonna make sense what I'm saying, but it worked. So we got it back attached, cool. We got everything finished. We got that job done. The lady was satisfied. Cool, everything's smooth. So we get that one done. And my cousin Grace graduated. So I wasn't able to make it because they told me last minute now. They told me last minute, so that wasn't on me. Told me super last minute. And then on top of telling me last minute, I already had that job. So I was like, wasn't gonna make it. So I'm gonna slide her something, probably if not this check, then next check. I'll slide her something for graduation, you know, little card and everything like that. But she's happy. Haven't got to talk to her, but congratulations, cuz. Love you. Wish you nothing but the best. I heard you going for another degree. Girl, you better than me because I ain't went back. And I don't know if I'm going back unless somebody else paying for it. So she graduated. That was cool. Like I say, Mother's Day, everything was smooth. That was everything with work. What's today? So that was last week. Yeah, I didn't have any jobs over the weekends. I talked to some. Nothing came through. And then so far this week, man, they kind of ticked me off a little bit because usually I get like, the way I got my budget set up, they'll give me like at least 2 or 3 jobs or whatever, you know, utilizing the budget. Hell no, they came out the gate off the ripple with a big boy. They took up my whole budget on one job and I didn't get it. So I was like, man, that's trash. Why would y'all do that, you know? So like I said, I'm not tripping off of it, but it was like, you know, I had kind of, like I said, became accustomed to, I'm gonna get at least 2 or 3. And of those 2 or 3, if it's 3, I'm gonna get at least 1. You know what I mean? And then usually after your budget ran out, they'll throw you like a little here, you know, almost like a bonus. Like, okay, you've used your budget. Here go one more. Let's say you got, I've had literally as low as 7 cents left. And the job costs $14 for you to, you know, bid for. And they give me the $13.93 and use my 7 cents. So, you know, like I say, I'm all right, kind of done worked it out or whatever. But with this, I only had one chance because, like I say, they gave me one that was as much as my budget was off the rip. I'm like, bro, what's going on? Don't do me like that. So, like I said, I don't have anything set up. I didn't have nothing set up for last weekend. And this weekend, actually, I'm supposed to get all the kids. So, hopefully, I'm still alive and have my sanity after I get all the kids this weekend to be able to do a freaking video next week. Fingers crossed, we're going to see. But they haven't all been together in a while. I know it's been since last year because just every weekend I had to go, you know, LYFT or whatever, you know what I mean? And so, again, you know, the bills, I kind of got the bills all the way back straightened out now. You know, we're good financially, we're in an okay place. And it's like I can go and, you know, buy enough food to feed all them for the weekend or whatever, and we be straight. So, I would say I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous because I know it's finna be loud. Hell, matter of fact, yesterday, I'm coming from work. Yesterday was Tuesday. I'm coming from work. I get a text from my brother, and he like, I'm sorry, I broke I got like an extra TV. I brought it when we first moved in, and it's like literally like 20-something inches, and I just had it extra or whatever, and then he kind of adopted it as his own, and was you know, like would move the game. 1 minute is in his room, the next minute he in the loft, next minute he downstairs hooked up directly into the internet or whatever, so it's no lag. And so I guess somewhere in between there, he broke it. He was like, I know you was already mad yesterday, so I'm just gonna buy you another. No, it's not about just buying another one. That's the thing. And how you gonna buy it? You only get money from me. So you saying you gonna buy it, it's gonna be me buying myself or not. It's like that, you know, they don't have an appreciation for other people's stuff. Because it was literally, I know, like he sent it in the text, but then he tried to say his little scary ass, like, in the cut the whole time. Like, I was just home. So I seen him last night, and he asked me one question, and I ain't seen him no more the rest of the night. And I got home early last night, and was like chilling. And then today, I was in the kitchen heating something up, and I seen him. He didn't see me see him, because I seen him in the reflection of the microwave, and I heard him come downstairs. And I guess he probably thought it was somebody else when he saw it was me, took his ass back around that corner. No, like, that's what I'm saying, man. Just having appreciation for people's stuff, but don't worry about they ain't using no more of my stuff. So I'm hoping nobody does no stupid stuff this weekend to make me mad or regret, you know, letting them all hang out and get together or whatever. What was cool though, so this past weekend, Mother's Day, I did talk to my girl a little bit, right? And so that's my baby, man. She made my day. I ain't gonna lie. I get emotional over a lot of stuff now. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't feel like it was okay to, you know, have emotions or express yourself or whatever the case was until probably like my mid to almost late 20s. Probably almost when college was going. So I was like probably 26, maybe 27, 20, somewhere between 25 and 27 when I felt, no, I said 27, definitely not 25 because I had just graduated. So yeah, like 27 to 26 to 28, somewhere around there, where I was okay with having emotions and realized having emotions didn't mean you wasn't a man or not tough. Just, you know, I don't think society knows how complicated it can be, especially growing up, you know, like, I'm not finna get into the men and women thing or whatever, but I'll say this. Making the observations I've made and then seeing some of the things that women do say is interesting. I'll put it that way. It's interesting because they'll talk about, you know, the lack of fathers in them, like, or, you know, like how men are today. A lot of us, not all, but a lot of us were raised without a father. And then if we were raised with a father, in a lot of cases, your dad treats you as a girl different than he does that son. And being somebody that grew up without my dad in the home, I always thought like, man, I would have been much better off if he was there, until I saw firsthand, not my dad, but somebody that I know, I saw how their father, you know, treated them, and then come to find out like, no, he was toxic in the house the whole time. And it was like, you know what, hell, maybe I was better off with just me and my mom. So it's interesting when I hear people say that, like, you know, household can be bad with a dad in it as well. But on top of that, and what I was getting at was, like I say, you'll hear women say, you need your dad or whatever the case was. And I don't think they understand that if I'm raised in a household without my dad, then that's one thing. But then some of the same men, you know, he's whether it's toxic masculinity or whatever you want to call it or whatever, the things that they'll say like, he's not understanding and this, that, and the third. Some of that you get from, you don't always have the perfect male role model. So he got, you know, talking to you crazy or doing X, Y. If a man is over emotional, then you can tell his dad wasn't that, he was raised by a single mom. But then when we aren't emotional and don't talk, you know, it's like that generation of men is the men that would have raised him. That man wasn't emotional, didn't talk stuff out. He let the woman say whatever and went on about his business. So either way, you're not satisfied with whether it's an over emotional man who was raised by his mom only, or if it's by a man whose, you know, dad was there, but the dad wasn't the type of man you would want either. So you dissatisfied either way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's interesting to hear and see. But that was pretty much it. Like I say, as far as week 19, definitely a good week. Wrapping up. I think my youngest is out here playing and class is finished. So that worked out kind of perfect with the route that I took. I got, you know, probably like about a mile. I probably walked a mile, at least a mile, if not a mile and a half. But yeah, man. Have a good one, my boy. And I'll holler at you next week. Love you. Be kind to yourself.